So let's start with the first topic of how B2B buyers are buying technology and how to connect with them at large scale. Now, if we think about selling, we think that selling is a difficult thing, but in reality, it's actually pretty much the buying, because buying is very often involving several people with different opinions. The process is rather political, and if we look at it, it's actually quite difficult. And it's difficult because people are concerned about will the solution they are looking at work, how others are solving problem, what Gartner is telling about solution, will the solution work with their own systems, how to compare alternatives, how to purchase. They're also concerned of what others will think about them. Am I appearing competent? What if I get at the end of the day fired for selecting a respective solution? So these are difficult things. This is a difficult process. And as a result, what happens is that buyers are actually desperate for marketing content. See, most time of what buyers are spending on buying decision, actually they are spending either researching solutions online, where goes 27% of time, or researching offline, right? And the time that they actually spend on research is 2.7 times larger than time that they actually have a chance to talk with suppliers. And suppliers are getting 17% only. And if there are several suppliers considered, then each gets just a portion of that time. So what sellers should do? Actually, it's a good idea for sellers, first of all, to think of how to help buyers with researching solution that they look for.
And I think what is also very important to see and to understand is that this whole, what Roland just mentioned, actually has changed significantly the whole ownership of the purchase process. So today, the purchase process is buyer-driven, not a seller-driven. So buyers actually, they're turning to the information online, they're turning to their communities, they're looking for some opinion leaders, thought leaders, to gather all the necessary information and to prepare for their decisions. And that is actually what we will be talking about later today. And only then, when they have formed their decision, they are turning actually to the sales.
Yes, and as a result, the best thing that sellers can do is to start really early and make sure that sellers have digital content available for buyers when they are searching, when they are comparing solutions, when they are trying to make sense of all this complexity of how to select solution, how not to fail, how to be seen competent by their colleagues, and so on. And this is quite complex process. However, there is an approach which helps to adjust the way how technology buyers are buying, and it's called buyer's journey. I'm sure those of you who are Microsoft partners and are from time to time listening to Microsoft, you know how often Microsoft is talking about buyer's journey and how often Microsoft is talking about modern marketing. And this is exactly what we are covering today as well. If we look at very simple buyer's journey, then we can split it in something like 3 distinct phases, with first being awareness phase, when person actually needs to start believing that either they have a problem or they have opportunity or they have a risk, basically something that makes them take some initial action, being interested and so on. Because if they are not aware of the problem or opportunity, they will never be interested. Second stage, obviously, is interest stage, when persons are more investing time in researching solution, figuring out what exactly they need, how others solve the same problem. And the third stage is actually consideration stage, when buyers need to convince themselves that solution actually will fit their budget, will fit their technology, that seller is reputable company, which will provide necessary support, and so on and so on. And for each stage of the buyer's journey, there are some types of content which work well. Like for awareness, these are blogs, ebooks, white papers. For interest, when people are interested in more details, things like product comparisons, videos, webinars, as today. And when people are close to consideration, they look for case studies, customer testimonials, perhaps a demonstration if it's a software product, cost calculations, and so on.
Yes, and from our experience by running like tens of campaigns with many Microsoft partners and other tech companies, what we see and what we would like to share with you as a kind of learnings or insights is very often companies really rush to sell. They, from the very beginning, want to really position their product, their solution, how great it is, and actually push it forward. But as we already discussed, customers, they need time to mature to this purchase decision. So actually, the most successful partners help these buyers actually buy instead of they are selling, meaning that they provide content which enables them for this decision making. Secondly, they provide the choice and respect their choice, meaning they are not really spamming them. They are avoiding, sending unexpected emails or communication and so on. And another important point is really that we all need to consider the actual length of the purchase cycle. In a B2B space, it might take even several months or even a year before a customer will be ready to make a purchase.
Yes, and therefore expecting actual sales results very quickly, if the whole purchase cycle is let's say a year, is just not reasonable. Give customers time. Do follow up, stay on top of their mind, but do not push. Do not be too pushy, too impatient.